Wouldn't it feel since too long since you played South? Is it strange to be playing them again so soon?
Yeah, I think probably the last 3 or 4 years there seems to be some short turnarounds when you play teams again. I think I think Manly are playing Penrith again. Soon after they haven't played them not long ago. So yeah, again it's round one. In some ways it does feel like a fair while ago, but otherwise it just seems strange you're playing the team twice before you've even played other teams once. So I think that's the strange thing about it. But obviously we know South a really good side, and we got off to a great start last time we played them down here, and they come back really strong. So again we've just been preparing this week. We've had another short turnaround, so it's been pretty light. So hopefully the boys will be nice and fresh tomorrow night.
Perhaps is out there today, not training fully, but is he getting pretty close?
Yeah, we probably could have played him this week, and but after this, we have got a longer turnaround. So if he'd have played this week and he'd done a little bit more damage to it, or even shook it up a little bit more, he might miss another 2 or 3 weeks. But we'd be reasonably confident. Missing this week, he should be back for our next game.
Souths have got a few key players, injuries to key players. What do you make of, I guess, their lineup?
Oh no! Again, look, they have got a couple of key players there, I suppose, especially Murray and Reynolds. They're really key to what they do, without a doubt. But the one thing about South, and I sort of noticed it when we first played them in the first round, the one thing they have got is really good depth. So obviously it's hard to replace those guys, and you bring guys in that have got probably different strengths, or so that you've got to work that into the teams. But certainly, like I say, South will cover most of their injuries are there. I think they're with their depth. But as I said, it's hard to replace your captain goal kicker and Reynolds, and obviously Murray's a really good Origin player. So those guys are hard to replace.
Benji's been in pretty good form, obviously. For his age, or just in general, I guess. And he actually in round one he's made an impact when he came off the bench.
Yeah, he certainly he played a different role that night. He come on, played in the ruck basically, but he certainly had a ball playing role. And I don't know whether it might have been a coincidence, but that's when they seemed to hit their straps. When he come on. So we know what a quality player Benji is, and without Reynolds there, obviously he's going to take a bit bigger role probably, and obviously with Katie there as well, we know what a class player he is. So I'm sure that they'll be keen to play well.
Craig, Munster obviously had some troubles with his kicking. Did you have to speak to him this week? I mean, he looks like a man bereft of confidence towards the end of the game there in terms of his kicking. Will he have a crack again this week?
Yeah, he'll have a crack again this week. So again, he doesn't get down about too much, I must say, but he was a little bit down about his goal kicking at the end of the game. But at the end of the day, he's been practicing hard and been kicking pretty well here at training. So just needs to find that form in the game, and I'm sure he'll do that tomorrow night.
And Eisenhuth had an issue as well. Injury?
Yeah, he's just got a stiff around the groins at the moment. Again, Tommy's sort of got that body that sometimes he, having I think it's our third game in 12 days, so that sort of workload, is affecting him, where he's tight in some places. So we'll just see how he pulls up after this, and then we'll go from there.
There's a story in today's papers about your future, and how you may be looking at this being your last year.
Well, this time last week I'd signed for the Storm, and a week later I'm retiring. So you have a chat to some journalists, and I think if you read the story, I don't know, it seems a long way from the headline. So I'll leave it at that.
Well, journalists don't write the headlines, so we can't blame
them. I'm not blaming anyone, but at the end of the day, I think what I said, that was pretty accurate in the story, but the headline was I don't think I'd mentioned once that I was thinking about retiring.
I'm sure no one's rushing you, Craig, but
No, they're not. Thank heavens.
Is a decision close though? Do you?
I like, yeah. Again, you guys must get sick of hearing it, but yeah, I'd like to think it's closer, and there's been a few issues as I've said before, and but hopefully soon. But so I don't know what sort of headline you can make out of that, but anyway.
How much do you like this young group though? Like, talking about the future or whatever. Like they actually, they're pretty tight. They're super talented.
No, they're a really good group to work with, to be quite honest. And just talking to a few of the other teams that we share the facilities with, especially the Victory. They're very, they're compliments of how well mannered and how well behaved our players are, around the area, and always friendly and whatever. So they're a great group of guys, and obviously there's some real talented players amongst them as well. So it's enjoyable, without a doubt. But that's been for a few years, with the improvement of some of these blokes. Like obviously Paps is a real good example, but so it's enjoyable working with them, and it's enjoyable being around them, because as I said, they're really good young guys, and hopefully they're doing the club proud at the moment. Hopefully they can keep doing that.
You went the late switch last week with Harry in 9 and Brandon in 13. Is that sort of the path going forward? Or?
Yeah, well, I sort of said that a couple of weeks ago. It'll depend on a little bit on the turnarounds, whether they're short or long. It'll depend a little bit on our opposition, and it'll depend a little bit on how they're going. So, obviously Harry started last week, but Brandon started as well in the other role he plays. So, yeah, it's good to have that versatility that Brandon brings us, and like I say, we can just each game that each week, we just come up with what we think's going to be best for this opposition and what's best for us, And when we do have short turnarounds, it's nice to be able to leave some players on the bench and start other players that perhaps didn't play as long in minutes the week before.
I just got to ask you, Cronulla in the mix in the future for yourself? Or?
Yeah, I think that's been pretty well documented the whole along. So, yeah, I think they're still in there. I'm still interested. So, at the end of the day, as I said, it's a lot of things haven't changed, from a couple of months ago. There's just been some things that have happened probably that are not connected to footy. That's been the sticking point. But, like I say, hopefully soon. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.